Ready?
Ready.
All right, and welcome back to Jeff Koinage live at Citizen Television here with DJ CK, Chris Kirubi, and ORM, Oriero Manduli. We'll talk about the state of the nation going around the country and, yes, the elections, which are literally 82 days away. Their thoughts on who is going to take the seat. We'll keep talking, folks. Let's go first to the tweets. I know there's lots of tweets coming in very thick and very fast. Eric M. Mugambi kindly ask Oriero Manduli if the women representative position in all counties has met her expectations and desire.
Absolutely, Mugambi. No, it hasn't.
No?
I expected better. I mean, we are back where we were. We are really back where we are. Kenya is a backward country, very backward nation. They never, I mean, they never walk the talk. When it comes to signing, I mean, signing protocol, they're the first to put their signatures on, but they don't follow through.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
Okay. Ngangu, PN, you say, ask Chris to clarify his bias on Kenya Airways turnaround strategy. Did you have a CEO in mind?
Well, I know I've had some CEO in mind who have gone to do great things in this country, but KQ, I put a lot of my money.
Yes, you did.
I have a lot of money stuck there. And I have seen them do small things. They didn't think big. They have an airline called Emirates that comes here and beats them hands down in their own territory. I think we need an East African, a community airline that covers the 5 countries of the common market. And that way we can be stronger, because we do need some airline, but not being small and trying to block other airlines bringing tourism to your country.
Yeah. This Polish guy being elected, being appointed as the MD, what do you think of him taking over from Mbuvi?
I'm very cynical that he will know what he's doing for a long time. It's not an easy airline to run. There are big debts in that airline. The people are totally demotivated, those who remain in the airline. Middle East countries, airlines are picking and choosing all our experienced pilots, engineers, hostesses. They're gone. Yeah. The people remaining behind are those who sympathize with the airline. Maybe their wives tell the men, you can't leave Kenya, otherwise you go alone. Or the woman says to her husband, we have to stay here. So we have seen a lot of punishment to the people. Bad management, but who has been punished is the ordinary worker. And it's not fair.
Sure. Okay. Moving along. Daniel Wandolo, why do we keep punishing ourselves? Politicians have picked on our affinity for pain and suffering, hence our current quagmire.
I couldn't agree more.
Vote wisely.
I think Kenyans they actually have the politicians they deserve. You understand? Yeah. They don't. I mean, they keep on picking. I'm sorry to say taka, and then they complain later. Now they have a big choice. This time they have a big choice. Yeah. Let me see them vote wisely, because you know, Shambaya, my Shambaya.
That's right.
But then what they do, they pick wrong people, and for 5 years they suffer. And what?
Next. PG Kangede, you say, please, Ms. Manduli, we can't bypass qualifications for the sake of equality. Women should fight for positions and not wait to be given.
I didn't want any woman given any position. Yeah? I didn't want any. Women are fought. You see them fighting. Oh, yeah. Women are fighting. Don't you talk about gifts. Women don't expect to be given positions. Yeah. And nobody wants to be given any. I'm just saying, and I said, and I'm repeating, that I'm disappointed with Sonko. Should have picked a woman. Now, why didn't he give you a man then? And I think it's time we stop talking about politics. Politics doesn't make the world go. Politics doesn't put Ugali on our table.
I'm about to get to Ugali, but Chris, Engineer Ochweri, all the way from the US, he says, please ask Chris if he's going to support Mike Sonko.
Where is he?
He's on Twitter.
He's on Twitter.
Yes.
He has a good combination. Sonko will play politics, Polycarp will play management. And to be honest, Nairobi does not need politics. Nairobi belongs to all the politicians, all creeds who believe in their politics. So we must not run Nairobi like some stronghold of some party. This is a city. This is the capital city. This is the head of the country.
Let us be very clear here. You've seen in the last 4 years that we've had governors. That deputy governors are really neither here nor there.
Sure.
I mean, they have no voice. They're deputy governors, they earn a salary, but that's about all. They have no role to play. They have no voice. They have no face.
Maybe
it is the governor. So if you're telling me that we're the choice of this, your favorite guy, that Sonko is going, Sonko will just overrun him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think in time we said, I thought a proper business person, and you are a big businessman, you are a leader of business in this county, and this country, and in the continent. And I thought you just say, let us vote Kidero, because we want sanity.
Okay, let's switch gears.
Now you happily, you know
that guy is my friend.
Yeah, why did you just say
the issue?
No,
as well.
No. I expect you to be frank.
Yes.
Don't mislead Kenyans. By age, by experience, by performance, you are a senior citizen here. You are a very well respected citizen. And Kidero is calm. Kidero is predictable. We can't have unpredictability in our. You don't want somebody. Are you trying to tell me that by changing clothes, by Sonko changing his clothes does not mean he changed his personality? And I fear a situation where we have fire lit everywhere.
Okay, let's switch gears.
Why don't we give them a chance to bring out their manifesto and see? I think prejudging the people is not the fair way to find the good
Chris, how could we talk about manifestos? Have you seen any manifestos working in this country?
I'm going to switch gears, but before I do that, say hi to Uriel Rogo. This is Jaro Soldier, Gor Mahia #1 fan in Kibera right now.
Thank you.
His name is Jaro Soldier.
Yes. Say, Salimia Watu ya Gor Mahia, whatever they are.
You mentioned Unga a moment ago.
I said politics does not make the world go round. We are talking Unga. It's Unga politics, isn't it?
Yes.
And I'm more Unga than any Unga person because I plant maize. I've come straight from that maize now. I breathe maize. I suffer through maize. If today I don't have as much money as Chris Kirubi, it's because I'm planting maize. I wish I planted houses instead of. I know, we are in trouble. We are in trouble because I'm not planting maize next year. A lot of maize farmers are.
Why not?
Because we are mistreated. We are not paid enough. We are not given the inputs in time, and or even the right type of inputs. We don't get it. When we get it, it's too little, too late, and sometimes even the wrong variety. And nobody worries about it. Now, maize has come in.
Yes.
And when the maize is coming in, the people who should be importing that maize are people like us who plant it and suffer for Kenyans to eat. So when it's time to bring in maize, I thought they should be looking at us, not some fat cats in Nairobi. I want, and I'm putting it here now, I want the names of those who got permits.
The tenders?
Yeah.
They're in the papers, it's public knowledge. The papers.
Who are they? Is any of them a farmer?
No.
Is any of them no?
They are millers.
They're millers.
Yeah, they are millers. Yeah.
Most of them are millers.
Yeah. Look,
millers are in between guys. Okay. Why should the farmer not be given the opportunity? Why should us farmers not be given the opportunity to bring in maize?
Chris, 90 shillings for 2 kilograms. Slashed by half.
That is the voice, the cry of the people. People cried and they said my salary cannot afford to buy enough food every day, paying 160, 170. It was not possible. So this government, I must say, has done a great thing, gone out of their way to listen to the people. Because you know what, Jeff? Hunger does not wait for tomorrow. I think what Mrs. Manduli is talking about, these challenges in this farming, shortage of maize, is a wake-up call. We need to look at the whole value chain of our own farmers. What are we doing to our farmers? The land they are farming, how much of it they are taking away from growing maize and planting beans and many other flowers and all those. If you go to Central Province, Kiambu here, you only see those tarpaulins all over.
Yeah.
What are people growing? Not maize inside. They are growing flowers.
Yeah.
We are feeding the Western world.
Those are greenhouses.
Okay, we are getting some money. But who says how much of that land has been taken away, and how do we improve compensating that land with some more land to grow better maize? And the two, what is the role of the counties? Agriculture has been devolved. It's the biggest economy in counties. I have not had one governor speak about their challenges, why they did not have enough food for the people. I think the food for the people, the basic food for the people, each county must be answerable and must look after its farmers.
But Chris, here's Kipkoech Mitei Robert. He told me to ask this question. How is Kirubi, who drives a 40 million shilling vehicle, a Maybach, and wears 1 million shilling Brioni suits, supposed to understand unga dynamics of common wananchi?
I think that kind of a guy, these are people who are consumed with jealousy. And when you are like that, you will never be anybody. You will just remain bitter person. I do those things I do because I can afford them. Tonight I'm wearing a Burioni suit, by the way. Look.
Oh my.
Jeff.
I see. It
It's
says
Burioni.
You can afford them because you're not a farmer. The farmers, we get.
Let him finish.
Let me finish.
He's answering a question.
Mama Manduli, I'm with you. I am a farmer, but from my farm, I make nothing. I grow 400 acres of coffee. I grow another 150 acres of maize and beans. And because of the weather, they all halfway died. They all dried up. I made a total loss. The weather in this country is a big challenge. Unless we address the areas that bring us rain, what do you call those mountains?
Yeah.
The catchment areas that brings us water.
Yeah.
We are so short of water. The second one, we need to do what the government is attempting to do. We need to create many dams.
Yeah.
If you go to Zimbabwe, there are 10 dams on one small river. All the way, every year they build dams because they are in a dry area that is.
Let me talk about this weather thing. We have a meteorological department that does zero. A meteorological department that tells you manyunyu in the afternoon, and that's the only language they know. They can't predict a thing, and they don't even bother landing because they just say manyunyu in the afternoon. Right. You understand? Now. There's been a climate change. There's a weather change. Nobody is giving us any data. What are you talking? The other day, the government of this country knew as early as January that the army arms were coming, and they let the farmer go to the expense, the pain of preparing the field, buying diesel, preparing the field, buying seed, buying fertilizer and planting, and they knew army arms were coming. They didn't want the farmer. You wonder what? I mean, the farmer has no early warning, has no support. You understand? As he says, the farmer is completely disregarded in this country because they say if we are short, we will import. So this we will import attitude makes me sick. Why don't they just support the farmer? So the farmer, what are we going to do with this farm? The young people don't want to farm because they watch their parents getting poorer and poorer every day. Yeah. They watch their parents getting poorer on the farm. They don't want to farm. And they don't want to farm. No. And nobody seems to think about that.
That's right.
I agree with her.
Yes.
We need to change the profile of a farmer. And the way you change that is making farmers attractive business. Make farmer make money. make farmer feel proud,
make
and
farming
engage
make it sexy
with what he does.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Make it exciting.
So that we all go visiting farms, because you find a family very happy.
Yeah.
But you know, if they sit down, they don't have water, they don't have irrigation, they don't have chemicals, they have planted the wrong seeds, they have
and they've been given wrong fertilizer.
So we need to look at Israel.
Yeah.
Israel has land which is twice worse than our land ever, the most marginal land,
and tiny too,
and tiny, and yet
they
produce so much. Do you know, Jeff, an Israeli dairy farmer is given a quarter how much milk he can produce a day, because they all can produce so much they can collapse the price. They give them quotas. Why? They want the people in that industry to continue to make money.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Jeff. I'm going to tell you something, Chris.
Yeah.
We have Kenyans. The emphasis is in the wrong places. That and this hunger now, this crisis of food has proven to them just how. Tell me, give me a reason why we are buying milk at 100. We're buying milk now at nearly 100 shillings.
There is no reason.
And this is not even milk. This is water, water and powder mixed. It's not even proper, but we are buying it.
Yeah.
Why? Let me tell you something. Every sector of agriculture in this country is mismanaged. The sugar sector is mismanaged. The milk sector is mismanaged. The grain sector is mismanaged. You understand?
Yeah.
Every area of agriculture in this country, and the farmer does not exist. I am repeating it and I'm saying it here, that if this government is outvoted, it is because of the agriculture.
Yeah.
Yes, if it is. And the people who will vote this government out are farmers. We are tired. We are tired. We don't care.
You think NASA's going to win? You think NASA's going to win?
Of course,
no,
naturally.
no,
Naturally.
I think.
What do you mean?
You know,
do I think NASA can only win in the circumstances?
To stop us having fireworks here.
NASA can only win. Look at the situation.
You know, NASA is something that builds rockets in the sky, not in the ground. So let us discuss.
My maid just
she mentioned until she got off the road is the quality of support to farming industry.
It does not exist. It's not even the quality.
We need not civil servants to manage farming. We have in this country a lot of well-educated doctors in agriculture. The research stations in this country has more people highly educated than ministries. What we need is to create serious committees within the ministries. You see, central bank, they have serious monetary team that manages policy. What is more important after the money? Is the food.
Shall I tell you? No, the most important thing before the money even is food. Because you look for money to buy food. So the money,
you are right.
If you have food, you don't even need money. The food is there. So now what I'm saying, do you realize that there used to be people called extension officers who went around at village level. And at village level they went around that they don't exist. They are not
okay, folks.
No.
I want to.
I'm back on the army worm.
Yes.
Why is the army worm? Why were we not given forewarning on the army worm?
Okay.
And why are people? Why are what you call? I call them just the theorists. Why are theorists talking for farmers when you have the real farmers who can talk?
Okay, we'll dedicate a whole show to farming one of these days. But let's bring this conversation around. And I asked you before we went to the break last time. Nairobi Women's Rep. We can't end up the show without talking about that. Esther Pasaris versus Rachel Shebesh. You first.
Yeah, well, why am I first? Let him talk.
Chris, you first.
First. Because I'll tell him what I think.
There are two beautiful women, very unlike politicians. The way I see it, it looks like some parties like beauty to qualify to be a candidate. I am very suspicious that it is not the ingenuity of the persons, why they qualify. They qualify because of many other dimensions. But being nice, and I'm sitting with my sister here, we said we support women, so the beauty is in beholder's eye. Let them also be good politicians.
Who do you want to win, Chris, in Nairobi?
I would like to leave it to those who will watch whoever wins the beauty contest, because it's a beauty contest.
Chris, you're being non-committal in Nairobi?
You mean the governors?
No,
or who?
Women's Rep, Shebesh Basaris.
You know, they are both my friends. And I like to say, let the best person win.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a man so lacking in contribution. Get there, talk. What has beauty got to do with it? When we talked about men, I didn't talk about their hands.
Did you see an ugly woman?
Yeah, did I talk about their handsomeness? When we were talking about men, did we talk about their handsomeness?
No.
That's the problem. You all bring it down to
that is my my observation.
That looks has nothing to do with it.
It's my
observation.
The
woman who has got brains, the woman with brains there are two women. I don't even see where the beauty came in. And I'm very disappointed.
So who's got the brains?
Yeah, the brains are obviously with Pasaris. She's a brainy woman, there's no doubt about it. I'm not saying it because she's ODM, I'm just saying because she's brainier. The other one is more but we are not going to be shaking our heads here.
Okay.
You understand?
Now she come back to my world.
A lot of and no action. You understand? Shake that and we take a lot of hot air. We want a woman who can sit down and organize and Pasaris has done it.
Okay.
I mean, she's shown that she can organize something that works. This is Pasaris. They are both your friends, so you don't want to.
Yeah. I like.
They are both my friends, and I'm saying Pasaris will.
And the other one is what?
Will be shaking her head. She's shaking her mane.
Chris, that's your camera over there, Chris. Some closing thoughts. Closing thoughts.
Which camera?
That one there.
That one.
Oh, this one, Chris. Sorry, this
one here. The man is sleeping. Jeff, I think. Thank you for bringing me and my sister together. It's very refreshing. It's a show being watched by very many people. My advice to Kenyans, please get out of your cocoon, participate in making Kenya a better country, elect people who will have the good ideas to make your life better, and let's have people of actions like Mr. Matiang. Matiang single-handedly has handled education, has brought a revolution in education. And therefore, if you have members of parliament committed like that, even this famine we are talking about, they should be able to deal with it on local level. In the local situation, you have the senator, you have women's reps, you have county MCs,
I'm talking about
you have governors, you have deputy governors, and you have all the hangers on, and yet the people go hungry. And nobody is talking about it. They are looking at government like the government is the only mother they have. Those governors in the counties are our mothers, their fathers, because they have the authority on those counties to make sure people are safe and people have food, people have medical services, and the security in the place.
Indeed.
So that to me is the right politics. And for Nairobi, I would like to see Nairobians all sit down together and say, this is a city like no other. We need to remove politics out of it and select a team that will bring change to Nairobi. That's all I like to say today.
All right. Oriero Gumanduli, that's your camera there.
Well, I'm surprised that you're talking of removing politics from the governance of it. You know that politics is what guides everything and what decides everything. Now, what the governors are doing, you are urging this county governors to work harder and to do better. They are simply emulating what happens in the central government. All we did was we just made corruption, we divided it into 47, pieces. They just look at what happened in the central government, and that's what they emulate. If you remember at an earlier show, I had said that corruption starts at office of the president. And I told the president, we could give you a second term, but you must stop. And stop it decisively. Stop corruption. He didn't. He let it take over till he was crying and saying, what do I do? But I told him, I want him in good time. Stop corruption, because it starts at in your inner chamber. Now, what is happening is that corruption is really a game of men. You know that. That's men's game. And I really don't see how we are going to stop corruption if a politician needs all that money to get in. If you tell him you can spend billions to come in, where are these billions coming from? I'd like to ask one thing. Why did I understand that the vice president has bought the 680 hotel at 3 billion shillings? I'd like to know where he got that money from. He hasn't earned it in the last 4 years. 4 billion. 3 billion shillings.
Yeah.
Where did he get it from?
So if he's watching now, you're asking.
Yeah, I want him to know. I want him to tell us where he got 3 billion shillings to buy the 680 with.
Maybe,
and why he paid 3 billion when the owner only wanted 2.5 billion. Yeah?
You know this for a fact. You know this.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to say is corruption will never end if you have to buy votes, if you have to buy support, it will never end. Now, I'm repeating Sesambaya, Meshambaya, and I'm saying just this evening my maid bought unga for 145 shillings. So I don't know about this unga revolution. I don't know what this made from Mexico, or is this South Africa? I don't know what he's doing. He's not doing anything. This evening she bought unga for 145 shillings to cook ugali for me before I came.
There's no 90 shillings.
Akuna 90, and that 90 maybe will just be here. It could even be here just till August, till after the elections, and we'll go back because the shortage is here to stay. I hear he spent 6 billion shillings to bring in this man. He put aside 6 billion. What happens when that 6 billion runs out? You are the economist. Where will he get more money?
Chris will give us another 6 billion.
Our farmers will have produced.
Here the results of the poll question we asked earlier on. Does the choice of Polycarp Igathe boost Sonko's governor's bid? 57% say yes. 43% say no.
And I'm one of the 43%.
I will sit with you, Mama. I will sit with you, Mama. I'll convince you.
Never, ever
this time.
I mean, women will never make it. This is the most backward country.
We'll make a deal.
Look at Rwanda. Look at Rwanda.
Yeah.
Look at our neighbors.
She's right. I like what Rwanda has done.
Yes, Rwanda is leading in the world.
Bringing ladies. In fact, there are more women.
Yes,
in their parliament.
And they're doing so well.
All right. Chris, great to see you. Oria Rogomanduli, thank you so much for your time.
Aren't you giving us dinner? You make us come and sit here and just say goodbye.
You tweeted that you ate.
That was an aperitif.
Now you want dinner.
Now I want dinner.
I'll speak to Washida Waroro, see if he can provide dinner.
I must say again, and I'm repeating, no ugali, no politics, and no peace.
On that note, thanks so much for watching. Keep tweeting at Kirubi, at Koinage Jeff, of course at Susan TV Kenya, hashtag as always JK Live. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to my guests. Thanks to Telcom Enterprise, which has powered JKL tonight. And remember, every Wednesday it is that program that with the 3 letters on the keyboard that follow each other, JKL. Thanks so much for watching. Good night, good luck. And God bless all those ugali eaters.
Yes.
At 90 shillings.
I'm one of those.
At 145 shillings, nobody is eating ugali.